Welcome to the Bash Podcast, your inside look at San Francisco's ball hockey league. If you think Bash is just a casual ball hockey game on Tuesdays and Saturdays, think again. With 6 teams, a full draft, trades, playoffs, and enough drama to fuel a soap opera, there is never a dull moment. Thinking about joining? Drop by a Tuesday pickup game and make sure to keep an eye out for registration for Summer League in late April, early May. For more information, click on the link below to join the Facebook group, or send an email to sf.bash.hockey@gmail.com to get on the mailing list. Bash is always looking for new players. No experience required, however, highly recommend dropping by a Tuesday pickup to see if it's a good fit for you, and to meet some of the players.
Welcome to the Bash Podcast. It's been a hot minute because I've been on sabbatical. Not actually sabbatical. I've just been busy. I'm joined with one familiar face who's I think been on almost every pod, and 2 new faces. Let's start with the familiar face, Chris Casilli. One, I cannot pronounce names. I'm really tired, apparently. And I'm just going to rough edit this, so this is going to be fun. Chris Casilli, Bash goalie for the Rink Rats this year, is on fire. Welcome back, bud.
Yeah, we're up and down on that fire. We're about like lukewarm, I'd say, temperature wise.
You guys have
But
a
yeah,
good
no,
defense,
happy.
though.
No comment. Happy to be here yet again. Talk Bash hockey, and even more so interested to chat with some relative newcomers to the pod.
Yeah. Next up, we have another goalie. We're just running the goalie show. This is like the goalie episode. Currently, I believe,
Another
leading
one.
the league. Another one. Currently leading the league with the best save percentage. And I think posted a shutout a few weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, what was it?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago against Red,
Yeah.
4-0.
Then you also shut out Green.
Yes.
Yeah. Terry Mitchell, welcome to the pod, buddy.
Hey, how's it going? Great to be here.
And then we have another Rink Rat member, also a goaltender, David Ruiz. Welcome to the pod. He's squirting water in his mouth at the moment. All right. For those of you who are listening,
Great
on audio,
timing.
he just gave a cheer. So yeah, let's just kick this off. It's been an interesting season. I think I can safely say that, right? With no real trades happening at the trade deadline, with which captains I'm very frustrated at you for about that. What I guess I'll start with Casilli here. What has been the overall biggest surprise this season?
Yeah, I have a couple. I'm going to start first and foremost with one of our co-hosts here, or pod joiners. Yep, those are words. Terry Mitchell and his play in net as technically a rookie goaltender, even though he's got some background that I'm sure we can get into. But look, White, the Yetis are historically a very solid all-around team that does play some tight defense, but Terry's play this whole year, I've watched a bunch of games where he's been called upon and stolen some games and made some really high tension, high leverage saves. That is one thing I've been very, very surprised with in a positive way and impressed with. And then just to kind of round out a couple of things and then moving on, the Reign, their overall kind of struggles, a little bit of a surprise considering the amount of draft capital they had to start, and then the rookies that we'll get into later that are on their team. I think maybe it's a little bit of chemistry, but that team has kind of underperformed. And obviously you touched upon it before, but the trades having only been one prior to the deadline. We'll talk more about that.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say Terry has honestly not shocked me because I've seen what he can do. But Terry, I guess what have been your overall surprises for the season?
Yeah, close to what Chris said. I mean, I wasn't surprised in myself, but
yeah, give me a chance to amend that because I feel like a dick. But yeah.
No, I mean, I get it. I mean, like I know I was hearing it like a week before the draft, whether or not I was even good enough to be a starter. So like, I get it. No, but my biggest surprise this year, and I mean, I don't know if it should be that big of one, but going to 7 teams, the parity. with what the log jam there is in the middle of the standings right now. Um, and like you said with purple, that's one I felt the similar way about yellow. I thought they were going to be a lot stronger. Not to say they aren't, just based on the current standings of where they're at. I thought they were going to be a little higher up. But we can get into that a little later with some numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that another surprising thing is back to the parity is that despite um, red being at the bottom, no one's had a forfeit yet. And it really hasn't been the typical way it's been in the last couple of years, where you would get a last place team that trades or no trades just bottoms out. And you end up with a situation where like every game becomes like a 10-1, 12-2, 13-1 scenario where they're getting blown out every single game and yeah, that is just over. I mean, I think this past week, Red they lost, but it was only like 6-3.
Yeah,
So
we were in it for a while there.
so and who it was against Green, right?
It was against yellow. Actually,
Yellows.
one of our 2 wins has come against green.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's a part of it too.
That's why Charlie's ducked up.
Yeah, so and that's another thing too. No team has gone without being beat. Like every team has beaten some team, and you can chalk that up to going 7 teams. You can call it diluting the talent, but it's a pretty good season so far.
Yeah, no, for sure. David, what have been your biggest surprises for this season so far?
No offense, but why is Red in last place? I get everybody's kind of off and on injured and all that, but I'm surprised in Feather. I know he's like a top goal scorer for the team, right? He's like usually on average 2-3 goals a season. Last time, in Falling's year and last year, I've been going to the league. So seeing Feather not putting much points up there, it kind of alarms me a bit. And
Do you think he's overhyped, David?
yeah, but I would like to see more out of him. And when it comes to,
I hope this reaches.
I'd like to see more out of him. And
I will. Oh, go ahead.
But as far as team that's improved, Purple, yeah, they've shown, they started off really low in the beginning, right? And they've improved over the games. And with, Terry here being a goalie threat, he's almost blocking every shot out there. And I'm really happy for you, bud. Yeah, as far as Black goes, Peterson, I hear he's got an injury, right? And he's playing out there as a runner and a goalie. So kudos to him and his team. But when I saw Eshuar score the hat trick, that was a beauty of a winning game for them. So they're stepping up too.
Very nice.
Loons.
David, I just want to go back to Red really quick.
Yeah.
Because while it's a bit of a surprise and maybe you can highlight like a key player, we gotta make mention that they started the year kind of a little handcuff with Shane Murphy being injured, so he couldn't play. He's one of the top defensemen in the league perennially, every year, and something where I think Chris Torres, he came back after a hiatus. He was came back to the Bay, joined up.
Yeah.
Terry mentioned with the expansion team starting the Loons, Will McInnes, formerly of Red, hopping over there. So big shoes to fill. I think
He froze.
Yeah, he did freeze.
What an awkward freeze moment.
Yeah,
Stay
but
tuned
I
for.
can kind of piggyback
go
on
ahead.
that. Is that there was a lot of movement with Red due to them winning last year. They sold a bunch in order to make that push in the playoffs. And yeah, they did lose. One of the best scoring defensemen in the league, in Will McInnes, to become an expansion captain for the Loons. That really just ended up. And then injuries, right? They lost Jared in the very beginning of the season. Another aspect I've heard is speaking to their other captain, Chris Torres. He's been away from the league for a while, so a lot of his scouting report type stuff was a little behind the times in maybe coming up with a draft. So that just a little things kind of added up, I think, in order to have the current situation. But that being said, I don't think Red is as bad a last place team as we've seen in the last couple of years. Like last year, Purple was a pretty epic tank. The year before that, Blue was I think the league worst record of all
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
No,
they were
no,
pretty up there.
no, they're not the worst. When I was playing with Rink Rats, before Casilli joined, we were pretty bad. We only won like one or two that season. That was really bad.
I'm pretty sure, according to Tug, that like officially the worst record is that Blue from 2 years ago, or maybe
No,
it's
no.
tied. But like Tug said that pretty much very confidently all the time.
Well, I was part of that team and I hated it, but I wanted to go back to Blue one day. Now I'm back with Casilli here. I feel more proud of us, and
Thank
I
you,
was
David.
yeah, but yeah.
How,
When I was
how are we
gonna
on my feed here? A little better?
Yeah,
yeah,
now you're good.
Okay, I
Good.
had to move
Okay,
back
Terry,
to the wrap.
you can continue your thought of. Terry kind of finished it, but you can
No,
add on.
yeah, Terry hit on all of it. So I won't kind of belabor the point, but and I think you touched upon Jared's injury as well, which is tough, right? I mean, he's great, on the bench trying to give words of wisdom, strategy, and such. But I'm sure it kills him and pains him to not be out there contributing, and knowing that he could help kind of push this team to a better play.
Yeah, we definitely miss Jared for sure because the line of Jared, Quinn, and Feather would have been wonderful. Um,
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Quinn, one of the many rookies that have joined Bash this season, let's talk about awards. So today is February 12th, 2026. I'm going to put all of you on the spot. If you had to pick an MVP today, who is your MVP of the league? Let's start with Terry. Go ahead.
I have to go with Charlie Jones, probably for my first pick. Up there with Jeff Wong for second. If I had to pick, it would be between them. Charlie, just as usual, is running away with the scoring titles. And being on white, we always win when Jeff is there. So it's a big plus. Yeah, that would be my MVP picks.
Solid. Chris Casilli, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm distracted by David chugging water.
Very
I
dude.
kind of went a different route here. I factored it in, but I removed just the gaudy point totals here, and being objective as possible. I have two candidates depending on kind of the categories and whatnot. First one, I hate to give this guy some love here.
Oh no.
Not really, but Matt McCann, I think, is an MVP here. While his points, he's in maybe the top 10 or top 15. Just kind of watching it when in game or as a spectator, he's really taken on that captain's role in the last kind of few years, and is a great motivational person to get his team in the right mindset to play. And he does everything on the court and off the court. And something like that, you mentioned Charlie. Charlie is similar to that, where he's a strategist both on and off the court. And just with McCann, I've seen it more apparent this year that he's him and Jeff drafted a solid team, but he's also been able to coach some of the rookies and some of the more less, I would say, the players that kind of were in the mid to late rounds, and really elevated their play. Secondly, I'm going to go with Zach Sorsher. Similar to Jeff Wong when he shows up for the Yetis, whenever Zach Sorsher shows up for the Rink Rats, we're winning. His points per game is astronomical compared to everyone else.
It's a 6.0.
Exactly. I don't think anyone is close to that. Maybe a high 3, like someone like Z.
just to put it in perspective, Zach Sorsher has played 5 games, and he is third in the league in points.
Yeah.
He's 2 off of Jordan Pransky at number 2, and he is 14 back from Charlie. But Charlie has played 13 games to Zach's 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then lastly, as an honorable mention, I'm gonna give it to Will McInnes, the captain of Yellow, the Loons. He plays defense, so it's in the same kind of realm as McCann in the sense of, the point totals may not be there, but he's also among the, maybe top 15, I believe.
He's number 11. So
There you
he's
go.
11 with 19 points, 7 goals, 12 assists. He is the leading defenseman in terms
Yeah.
of points.
And he has to play all of the tough minutes against the top line players, and practically he's out there for the entirety of the game. A lot of the top end defensemen, they play almost a full 60, and he's no different. And I would think he should get some consideration. Clearly, he's going to be an MVD, but MVP, I think, also to consider.
All right, David, who's your MVP?
I have some input
Oh,
on
go ahead.
the
Take your time, Terry. Take your time.
We'll talk about that later.
Oh, okay.
Go for it, David.
David, who's your MVP?
I've been watching Jeff Lee play, and he's like the what do you call it? I guess considered rookie year 2 also, but MVP, he's proven himself as a captain and a offensive threat, and he's also great on the field. But he's one of my options. MVP, Zach, he's good when he's there, but when he's not there, we're missing him on our team. We need him.
Sorsher, yeah.
But my other choice would be Sam Knapp because he's proven himself as a great, forward. I mean, no offense, Chris, when he scored on this, we should have blocked him on that. Not you. I mean, like our defense. We missed out on that. But, Sam Knapp is proving himself as a, asset to, to the Seals as, a goal scorer. They need him on that team to score.
Just
I have
what
both led in game-winning goals against Sam Knapp.
I was about to say, you're referring to the OT goal that Sam had against me where, if anyone hasn't seen it yet, on the Bash Instagram page, which another shout out to Matt McCann and Neil Crossan for curating that page. It's definitely not too kind to goalies. Yeah, but you know what? We'll take it. We'll take it.
We all learn from it, right?
We learn from it, David. We grow.
Yeah.
So speaking
anyone
of...
else? Oh, sorry. Anyone else on blue, David? You want to think of that could be an MVP?
Casilli, no, stop fishing.
I'm just
we'll
gonna
get to the goalie talks in a few.
We'll get to the goalie talk. You'll get your flowers.
I'm not even among the top 3.
So speaking of defense and blocking, Sam Knapp, most valuable defender or best defender? I know we mentioned Willie. I'm sure Jeff's in the conversation. I'm sure Jack Roddy should be in the conversation, and it's never in the conversation because everyone underrates Jack Roddy because he plays with Charlie and Jordan, which I get.
That's what I was going to pick, Jack Roddy.
All right, let's
start with David then. That's your pick?
Jack Roddy.
Jack Roddy, care to elaborate?
That guy's like Brent Burns when he's like a offensive defenseman. He scores and he plays defense very well. And I haven't seen any other team do that as far as, defensive scoring. And he's also great at defense.
Jeff Long can't do that.
No.
Who's Jeff Long?
Jeff Long does have scoring capabilities, but Jack has more of a, how I should say,
Je ne sais quoi?
Speak English. No, I'm just saying Jack Roddy has a lot, potential as far as, being the top defenseman, I would say.
Oh, easily top 10. I mean, I will say he does one thing I think better than any player, especially out on the NBHL court, the stretch pass from his own end. My goodness, it ends up being tape to tape and it's a bullet. And to your point, you wouldn't think he's a bigger defenseman. He'll admit he's not like the fleetest of foot, right? But he knows angles. He's played this game a long time, and he's one of those players that can kind of be a tactician out there and make up for any weaknesses.
Yeah,
For sure.
so,
I'll just, if you don't mind, I'll just
Go ahead, Kassim.
right. We talked about Jeff, Will, kind of an honorable mention that I see it from my end a lot. Matt Gottfried on the Rink Rats. He was on the Yetis last year. He's always been a solid. You mentioned Brent Burns, with Jack Roddy, solid two-way defenseman. But even more with this season, he's taken on a bigger role, helping out offensively, but also eating up those big minutes, playing against those, tough forwards like a Sam Knapp, like Pransky, Jeff Lee. I mean, you can just name anyone. Feather, unless David thinks otherwise. But, that's those guys, like you mentioned, aren't going to get their kind of just due because rightfully so, someone like Jeff Wong or Will McInnes, they are established. They will always deliver, high-end performance. But yeah.
Yeah, so I think I differ from you guys in how I view defense, and so like just to put some context into it, Will McInnes and Matt Gottfried both lead the league in defensive scoring with 7 goals. Will McInnes has a few more assists, so that's why I said before he's up in points. Jeff Wong is up there with 6 goals and 9 assists. He's up there
He loves that. He can't keep that. That stat line needs to stay for him.
That's
yeah. So
I agree.
Even your kid agrees, Terry. Come on.
Yeah, apparently. Sorry. I don't know what's going on back there. So I always get bummed that I feel like always when it comes to talk about like the Norris Trophy and when it talks about defense, it's always the focus on what defense is the best offenseman, which I'm not ever thrilled with. If I had to pick my top defenseman choice for this year, especially from what I've seen, I'm going with Billy Knupp.
Yeah.
Who I don't think I've checked the list. He's never won best defenseman, but
was he ever nominated too? I don't think so.
I don't know if he was ever nominated, but he hasn't won. If you look at the list going back however many years, you look at the standings and you can say with me and my performance in goal this year. And I could hear a lot of people say he's got a good defenseman in front of you, and it's because of Billy. Jeff Wong is in it every game, but really the heart of our defense is Billy, and he isn't, a scorer. He isn't gonna, light it up. He has a few goals. I think he has a goal or 2. He has a bunch of assists. But it's really hard to really gauge defense if you're just not looking at offensive defensemen. And that's why I think Billy Knupp is the strongest, pure defenseman in the league and should probably win, given just how low our goals against is this year for White. After that, I would probably put in for another player a little more offensive is Bobby Pardini is another one. I think
good one.
Roddy's a good one too. I'm just basing it off of goals against. So if you look at the teams with the best goals against, you got White, you got Black, you got Green. Green especially because of how few shots they even let it up. And then Black obviously has some of the best goaltending in the league. But yeah, my vote's for Billy 100%, and I say that because he plays in front of me.
They also have 2 of the best goalies in the league, Black with Crawford and Pedersen. Which, by the way, one of them, they should not be on the same team. That's I don't know.
You can make that same argument against a team like Blue, where Teddy Hart and Zach Sorcher shouldn't be on the same team because they're just so good at offense, or so.
I'm just saying, Bash could use a nice little reset of just everyone goes into the draft, and yeah,
that would be interesting.
COVID.
Yeah, right. I think to a certain point it gets a little stagnant. That's nothing against Bash, but I think it wouldn't.
I think we're going the opposite way next year. I think we're having 5 protections, right?
That's too many. No, give them like
Vasily,
2.
can you
Force people to
Yeah,
split up.
I'd have to check on that. I mean, I think all things are still like kind of pending and whatnot. I think
Chris
we still have to have
Casilli.
a captain's winter meeting, which probably that being one of the topics to discuss. So
As
TBD
a
on a next podcast, we'll update you.
as the commissioner of the league, I need you to give me more content because Bash hasn't had enough content this year, and I need you to make it only 2 keepers so I get more entertainment out of it. All right, thank you. Anyways,
Interesting. We'll see.
let's move on. So we talked about defense. Let's talk about goaltending. Goalies you cannot pick yourself. Chris Casilli. Anyways, who is your vote for this year's Vezina winner? Let's start with David.
The 2 guys in here. I mean, obviously, the 2 guys here. I mean, I think they're candidates for sure. That's all I gotta say. I mean,
Well, what do you think?
Thank you, David.
Why do you think that? Yeah, thank you as well.
but why?
Kind of expound upon that.
I mean, I compare, how many overtime wins we have, Chris, and how many, wins that, Terry has. I think that's both, for sure should be counted as far as, best goalies.
Sure.
No, I don't think any other team has no overtime wins than us, right?
Yeah, we definitely lead in overtime wins, which is double-edged sword.
And it's not a great thing that wears down the points.
I think though, what I'll kind of support you on, and I'm not putting myself up there, but like what I think you can consider is I've started every game, so there's at least some consistency in that. Whether my performance is consistent, I've had a relatively good year, but for me, I would say, look, I think Terry, you have it right now, in my eyes, by a wide margin. Again, when at the top of this, I mentioned how like White has the Yetis have a very good, well-rounded team. They play well, they back up their goaltender, but and not a knock on your talent whatsoever. I think because there were a lot of question marks because not a lot of people saw you and playing in net, and it was during the summer where, playing at Dolores, goalies get chewed up easily, right?
It's so hard to play at that little rate. Like people just don't understand how hard it is to read angles.
Dolores angles are tough. It's a bandbox too.
There's no lines, there's no dots, there's just absolutely no way to know. If like you ever watch, anyone listen to this and you watch like us playing pickup, like keep an eye on the goalies and watch our hands. I'm literally always like reaching back as someone's like running up on me both sides just to make sure where the posts are. I do it a little bit at the lick, but even at the lick, it's a little bit better gauge with even the the circles, the hash marks, and the face-off dots.
Yeah, I'll just close it out. We mentioned Eric Crawford, and I think if he gets on a run to close out the season, really solidifies the Land Sharks playoff positioning, he could make a case for it. He is the reigning Vezina winner right now. Last year, he had a phenomenal year. And, this year, I think there's been a lot more like split goaltending duties between him, Peterson, and whomever else has been able to fill in. So I'd say if Crawford can kind of go on a run here, maybe push Terry to, see how it falls. But honestly, Terry, I think it's you by a landslide right now.
So
your thought at the end there is like pretty much my thought is that like I have a feeling like he's gonna go on a run. Just for everyone's information, Crawford is on black. He pretty much him and Nick Peterson share goaltending duties. Nick Peterson has played the majority of the season so far. I think he's played like 10 games. We have about I want to say 5 or 6 left, depending on the team. I think Purple's the only team that has 6 games left. Everyone else has 5 games left. Crawford, I think, has played 3 games, and so if he plays like the next 5, I think that gets him into the The minimum amount, right? It's like 8 games, I think, for consideration or whatever it
I'd
is.
have to think, yeah.
Yeah, something
Peterson's
like
at
that.
9 games right now. 9 games for Peterson.
Okay. So, I mean, just I have a feeling like Eric could very easily just like shut it down if he plays the rest of the season. And the Sharks have been really good at keeping goals to the minimum, and
I
you know,
mean, Terry,
definitely slide in there.
You almost have a 95 save percentage. You have a 947, bro.
Listen, I'm one game against like Yellow showing up with all their guys away from getting lit up for like
So
7 goals,
I,
and
I
that's a
will
big
say
factor of
this.
it too.
Yeah. I will say this to kind of stoke the fires here.
Oh,
Actually, I want to take it back. Given Kevin Aylesworth's performance as a
Oh,
sub-in goalie this past week to beat the Rats, it sort of knocks your credentials here. So, I mean, could we have a goalie competition here? We have former commissioner Kevin Aylesworth, the bald assassin, stepping in. I don't know. That's all I'm just gonna put it out
oh,
there.
oh.
that's all good. But yeah, like
What a
I
pro
was
here. Sidesteps the drama.
I was very sick this weekend, and you can probably hear it in my voice a little bit. I still got like a cough, and so I'm
Dude, I think
off to the
everyone is
side.
like,
I think
yeah,
everyone in the
I was
league
under
is
the
sick
weather.
right now.
I feel like
Tommy,
everyone in San Francisco is sick and
Tommy,
has sinuses and everything. Well, that's because you're a god amongst men, David.
thank you.
Yes,
Yes.
but I think Crawford could definitely sweep in there. I mean, because it's a 2 awards, right? There's the goals against average, which I don't understand why the goalies are engaged on save percentage, but whatever. And correct me if I'm wrong, is that a team award that's technically awarded to the goalie, or how does that work?
Yeah, essentially that. Yeah.
So, like, like for instance, I've missed now the last game and the first game of the season. Oddly enough, both my misses have been against Blue, unfortunately.
I mean, he's dodging us. He's dodging us, Blue.
Uh, but yeah,
He's
so
avoiding you guys.
I know we let up. I think we let up 5 the first game. I let up 3 in my game, and the last game against Blue just past week, we let in another 3. So
Yeah, two of which were ridiculous, like shots that like just deflected off your defenseman
I
or player.
saw that. Yeah, they
They
were.
go, then they go top shelf.
So yeah, no, it's all good. But yeah, I would goaltending wise, I would say Crawford and yeah, pretty much. I think right now, save percentage wise, I think Nick Peterson is above a .9. I don't think anyone else really is.
No, I was, and then or I was around that. Yeah, this past game kind of knocked me down a bit. I'm at .894.
As a forward, these are all very good stats to me. So I don't know what you guys are saying. Let's move on to the next award, Rookie of the Year.
This one's gonna be tough.
Good luck. That's why.
My first choice, if you just base it on the numbers, is Jeff Lee. He's running away with it. If you look at I have it up somewhere. When it comes to the top 10 rookies, you got Jeff Lee at 1 with 13 goals and 28 points. After that is Carter Weaver on purple with 11 goals and 23 points. And then Jeff Saw also on yellow with 10 goals and 22 points. So,
I mean, yeah, and we mentioned Quinn at the top of this that like I felt bad because when I was doing some like research, I completely forgot to mention him because if he was in a different situation, I think he would be a top point getter as well.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's
sure.
number 8 on the list of rookies with 5 goals, 13 points. Generates about 1.44 points per game. That number puts him at number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of rookies. So yeah, if you had him on any other team, it would be probably a different story. He would be up there as my like second choice between him and Jeff Lee. Jeff Lee and Quinn are probably my choices for rookie of the year this year. Um, just in terms of like point production and contributions to their team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
I'll
Quinn
just
is
kind of like
really
we
good.
rattled off. Sorry, we rattled off the names. I mean, Jeff Lee, Carter Weaver, Jeff Saw, Jordan Stinson, Andrew Song, Quinn.
This is probably
Sorry.
the strongest rookie class we've had in years.
Uh, yeah, I'd say like as all around, like definitely, there have been ones where it's just like the top end talent is immense. But even this is like insane. And with Quinn, we mentioned there being only one trade that occurred, this season, and that's Lamb going from red to green. And when Lamb and Quinn they played on a line together and they had great chemistry. So it just further like kind of hits home if Red had a little more kind of all around depth or well rounded kind of skill set on their squad. Those two definitely could have shined a lot more.
I think the game they beat Green is the game they had Quinn, Feather, and he on a line together, and they like ripped up.
They just
in like under 2
yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, I think to your point though, Terry, I would go with Jeff Lee as well. Not only is he leading in points for the rookies, he also took on a captainship role on an expansion team, which, behind the scenes, it was definitely a little not tumultuous, but definitely a little complicated considering originally Harry McInnes, Will's brother, was going to, captain the team with him, but his kind of status outside of Bash precluded him from really making the commitment. So to see Jeff Lee step up, and I haven't been around that much with the Loons team, but even when you think they're kind of out or they're struggling, they come back with a really gutty win in recent weeks, and they're still there fighting for playoff seeding.
Yeah, no, they're still right there, and it's fun to see. They have Red's number. So I mean, to be fair, I've only attended 4 games, and all of them were against the Loons. So, David, who's your rookie of the year?
And I'm gonna go with Andrew Song. You guys don't mention him much, and I noticed he's putting some numbers up there as a rookie. I've seen him improve a lot, so he should get rookie of the year.
What makes him stand out over, I mean, not just other rookies, but let's say like Carter Weaver, who's on that team as well?
Well, let's see how many points they got. Beaver has how many points?
Well, what's the eye test for you? Because you've scored keep a lot of games, and I'm sure they've been rain games, purple games.
Let's
What
look at
I know.
there is. But
Yeah, I know. For me, he is fast as hell. Fast.
Yeah. I just like how Song's putting points on the board. If he's assisting and he's scoring. But Jeff Lee, he's also proving one of my top choices as far as, game points and, taking the leadership role so fast with joining the league. Doesn't know nobody in this league pretty much, right? Like he just joined us, right? Not knowing nobody.
He played summer a bit. He was on.
I mean, as far as in the fall setting, like he took on a lot of guys that he just barely probably just met, and I'm pretty sure McInnes was a contributor to help him pick guys out. But as far as
those two are friends as well. But no, that's a good point where he's stepping into a new environment with a lot of fresh new faces, and
still put points on the board.
Yeah. Points on the board. The title of this podcast, this episode should be Points on the Board. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Points on the board. I got you guys.
Yeah.
I love how that's the title.
Created by me.
All right. Points on the board will be the title. Did I miss any awards? Let's find out.
There's a bunch. Let's see.
Goalie of the year.
Defensive forward, 7th man, Lady Bing, most improved.
Let's do most improved. Who do you think is going to win most improved?
I wasn't prepared for this.
I didn't warn you guys.
I'll give mine while you guys think it over. Mine is Shane Seiler on black.
Good call. Good call.
I remember him
I saw
coming
he
up
got a
playing.
goal and assist. Yeah, last week.
Yeah, he came up last spring to pickups. I don't think he's ever played before. Then he was on my team during the summer. And then I remember him saying he wasn't sure if he was going to join up for fall. He didn't think he was good enough. And he got drafted on black, and he's great. Like you said, he scored. I think he scored a goal or two this season already, has a few assists.
Mhm.
Yeah, incredible improvement. That was a
Yeah,
good choice.
that's a really good one.
That's a really
Yeah,
good shout.
I same thing where he's friends with Josh Clag, and right, he had never played before. He's on the fence, and to see that he's kind of picked up that grinder role pretty well is solid. I did have one kind of little interesting one where I think it could also be a Bash record. I don't know if Terry, you are going to fit in this category because you have won most improved as a runner.
Yep.
If you get most improved as a goalie, that's never happened before. I could,
Or, it's
I
never,
could,
or twice. And I've heard people tell me, I didn't want to say myself, but
yeah.
I've already won it once. I don't need to win that again.
We'll see. I mean, look, you can't pull a Neil Crossan, card and be like, "Hey, don't award me stuff because I do everything for this league." Like, come on now.
I do want to
Um,
host the award show again. That was fun.
Yeah, I know
Anyways.
a few names. You know what? Someone who comes to mind who recently got potentially, I think, probably their first hat trick, Eshwar
Oh,
on
he did get a
Landshark.
hat trick.
Yeah,
He did get a hat trick.
Right, right. I mean, his first hat trick in Bash. No, all good. But like, that's I've seen him ever since I think last year was his rookie year, and then obviously in the summer, the past two. But he is someone he's always had the hands and the sneaky shot, but I think he's picked up kind of the Bash style, and that's also kind of something we didn't really touch upon with like all of the rookies, where if you don't know how the bash ring plays, it can be a bit of a learning curve, can take you almost a season. Someone like Austin White, who won most improved last year, when he came into the league as a rookie, he was a little he's playing catch up, and he finally kind of understood it, shook off the rust as well. And I think that's kind of the case here with Eshwar. Obviously, David, if you have anyone in mind, but
So
I'll try and
I
think
had
of
a
other.
I had a thing, and I thought maybe it would come up at another point, but I guess it makes a good place talk about most improved. Looking at the draft at the beginning of the season, and kind of taking a look and comparing draft order with like goal rank and point rank, and Eshwar is pretty much the biggest differential between where he stands when he was drafted versus when he was where he is now with the scoring rank. So he was drafted with the 65th spot, and his goal rank is 18 with 7 goals. Excuse me. And then
Points on the board.
yeah, no. So he definitely, if we had a best value or an undervalued draft award, I think he's got that locked up.
Yeah.
Um,
I was gonna say Igor, sorry, from Landsharks. He has stepped into a top 2 defensive role. He's going to be playing on the Bashers Tier 2 team this upcoming NBHL season. So,
Yep.
I mean, that's definitely something to see.
You also can't talk about Igor without mentioning he's also leading the league in penalties.
So
Love it.
no
18 penalty minutes. He is far and away the biggest offender, both in size and amount of.
Matt McCann, you have some catching up to do. Come on now.
yeah.
But yeah, another one. There's a few people, and maybe we can talk about that a little later. But yeah, Eshwar would definitely be a good most improved.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
It doesn't relate to this, but I'm just like going through, and like there were some other rookies that we haven't even flagged that, yes, they don't have the points. You got Tony G from the Rain. You got Cosarini, who is on the Loons. I'm blanking on another tall guy that's on the on green. But yeah, no, it's crazy.
Zach Herman.
Wasn't him, but yes, he's been solid. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else, but it's crazy the amount of depth that we have, especially from the rookies this season. Yeah.
It's a very
Da-
good rookie class.
David, what are you thinking? Do you have anyone in mind for most improved? Anyone catch your eye, puts the points on the board?
Me for one. I'm just kidding. I was saying just me, just saying, but no, I mean, like I studied all these people, and Ashley Hack. When she came in her rookie season, she started off slow, but this year I see she's improving a lot.
Nice.
So she deserves some kind of credit there because when she plays, she's great out there. She's gone against a lot of solid forwards out there. Like she went against Nick Pearson, and I think she blocked a shot off of him. Like,
Very nice.
yeah, she's deserves credit. So that's who I would pick.
Do you think, I mean, I'll go off script here, like anyone on our team on blue that it doesn't need to be part of the award, but that you've seen kind of
Me.
excluding you, excluding you.
You said anybody.
I mean, I'll kind of prompt you here, like someone like Eric Woolley. Obviously he's not going to get the points, he's not going to get a lot of the fanfare, but I've seen him play some tough minutes. Whether it's that defense or forward, and that's someone that I've seen over the years that I feel confident with if he's going to be wherever out whatever position he's going to play for the team.
Sergi is improving a lot.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Ser-
Sergi. I'm sorry for your Kings, but shout out to Sergi.
Don't say sorry for the Kings. They got Panarin.
Yeah,
That
that's
doesn't.
Sergi,
that's not what this is about.
Sergi gets some kind of love too because he's showing himself as far as being as a solid third winger. But he when he's out there, he's giving his all.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna pick
I-
Sergi or Ashley.
I love Sergi. Sergi's my boy. Speaking of which, you know who didn't do a good job this year?
Me.
And you know who I have a bone to pick with?
Hey.
So hey, hello, viewers, listeners of this podcast. All of you fucking captains, were you sleeping through the fucking trade deadline? Like, and I thought NHL trade
So
lines were
who won the trade deadline?
green.
Blue.
I mean, we won't know yet.
Green. And I'm not just saying that because I have he in a fantasy, but like,
Well, you know what? We kind of harken back to what Terry said about the parity in the league. I think that's part of it, especially with the expansion, and you have the play-in game. For the 4-5, I think there's really not much, discrepancy. Yes, of course, point totals are a little, on either extreme, but for the most part, all the teams, are still in the hunt, obviously with the exception of Red. So I think a lot of teams were in the middle ground. I know for Blue, I definitely was trying to push for trades. Obviously, I'm not a captain, but our captains were pretty confident in the team that we have, and I think draft capital is pretty important. So I think the captains hold that in high regard, especially with the potential for the keeper. The amount of keepers maybe being adjusted going into next season.
yeah. No, yeah.
But
look,
I'm with you on that.
it was just kind of it was just kind of a dud, and I heard a lot of
Leading.
rumors, ones that I don't know if I'm allowed to say on air. I'm slowly becoming the Elliot Friedman of the league. It's really funny to me.
So, well, I mean, I can say that we were at Dan Hilbeck's birthday party, and there was a bunch of bashers there. And David's favorite player, Feather, was a hot topic that, Jimmy Germain from Land Sharks he was trying to, he's not a captain, but, he was trying to wheel and deal. I know with Noah Regretski's Red, their asking price was pretty high for Feather. So I think it was a keeper along with whatever else. So not many teams are going to do that when you see, hey, we got a great influx of rookies this season.
Yeah.
What about next season? Our league is doing, better each year with marketing and pulling in some good players. And, you want to take a chance on the unknown going into the next season instead.
And
Yeah.
there's also the factor of Red. They didn't have too much to trade that they didn't want to keep. There's a lot of rumors of whether or not a team would be looking for goaltending, right? Ish, despite Red's problems, is having a great year in net. Letting in a lot of goals, but like
As a person on Reddit, has not been his fault.
no, well, that's what I mean. I mean, the amount of shots he's been getting, his save percentage is still like really good despite the goals against, which is awesome. And you gotta feel for him, but at the same time, he's a protected Red player, and you don't want to lose that protection. And then you got Feather, you still got Jared when he's better, and then you got a player like Quinn, who is still a solid rookie for them. That next year Jared's better, Feather's on the line, you got Quinn on there too. That's going to be a ridiculous line to defend against. So you don't want to trade away pieces like that. So that also kind of keeps things in place. And then in the fact of the parity, the fact that without Red wanting to trade anyone away, really, and then every other team is in it. Even, excuse me, even our sixth place team, I think right now is yellow.
Yeah, I believe so.
And
Yellow.
right, so everyone's fighting for that play-in spot of fourth, fifth. And that just kind of makes it so like who's going to be trading away. There was only one team that really could be a seller, and they really didn't have much to sell. So I think that's kind of what also factored into it.
Yeah. The Reign are actually in sixth place. So Steels are atop. No, you're good. Steels are atop the league with 29 points. Then the Rink Rats and Yetis are tied with 25 points. Land Sharks are in fourth with 19. You got the Loons with 17 with that big they're on a 2-game winning streak. The Reign on a 3-game losing streak at 15 points, and then closing it out with the No Regretskis at 5 points. So the hot teams right now, Loons, and then obviously the Yetis with 4 wins in a row, which, if you look back, that means that they were 4-5, and now they're, vying for one of the top 2 seeds potentially to close out the season. I have a feeling it's going to be freaking Rink Rats and Yetis in the first round, but we'll see.
Probably.
We'll see how it pans out.
Probably.
With a repeat of last year.
Or a repeat of last year, correct. Maybe a different outcome. We shall see. Right, David?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. David's already ready to go to sleep, so I think that's a sign.
Can we get a couple more?
Oh, come on. What other categories? Come on.
Boom, real quick.
Yeah.
I'm not
No,
going to
go
sleep.
ahead.
David, stop moving around.
David's like already ready to go to sleep. Terry,
This
what's
is going
going
to be
on?
a podcast within a podcast. Is it going to be on Gallery View for everyone?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be on Gallery
Okay,
View.
so no one's even going to care what we're going to be saying.
Yeah, they're all just gonna be
gonna
focusing on what
watching
David's doing.
David throughout.
I also,
Right, putting a towel over the webcam.
for context, I was like, guys, we're gonna keep this to 30 to 45
David.
minutes today, and I think we're already over 45 minutes. Yes, Terry, go ahead.
All right, let's see.
No.
Let's go with seventh
Second
man.
take.
Who do we think?
Tough.
I got my pick.
I mean,
It was
we
pretty
mentioned
easy
him
for me.
before. Oh, go for it. Go for it.
No. Okay, fine. Mine is Zach Herman probably on
Oh,
green.
nice.
I'd have to agree with that. Yeah.
I like it. I was going to go different because, well, he's not really a seventh man. I don't know why I was going to say Knapp, because it's like, just got to find an award. Just got to find some award for him. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
But-
MVP. When we talk about MVP, it always with the NHL, right? It's the most valuable player to the team, or is it the most valuable player in the league? Because that is always two different things.
yeah, no, it's true.
And I also think it depends on the team, right? Like it depends. Like for some team, they lose their seventh man and they're like gonna go on a skid for 4 games, right? And you see that in the NHL a lot. But yeah, keep going, Casilli. Who do you got?
Oh no, I was trying to hopefully you guys are going to filibuster because I'm trying to look at some standings here. some
Casilli
stats.
was so prepared for this podcast, guys.
I mean, well,
Incredible.
the script did
script.
not have the rest of these awards being discussed.
For context, I had to reschedule this 4 times.
I'll go with someone like Luke Carter. Luke Carter, Jeff Coe, these kind of like unsung players that are great, like jigsaw pieces that can just slot in. Zefko, man, he's on green, correct? I mean, you put him on a line with Charlie or whomever, he can move up and down the line, and he still can create offense, even if he's, on a line with, not the top players. Someone like Luke, I think, is just like each season just getting better and better. I saw him, while the move didn't pay off, he didn't finish it. I saw him make a great like kind of breakaway move from like right to left while eluding a defender, and he's always got that cannon of a shot. So if he can kind of put all those pieces together, man, that's, we mentioned Ishwar kind of jumping up the draft boards from year to year. I think someone like Luke can really kind of push through that ceiling. What do we think, David?
Do you have a sixth man?
Seventh man. This is hockey.
Sixth, seventh, same thing.
Don't say 6, 7. Please don't.
How dare you, David?
No one even thought of it.
He just said 6, 7. Anyway,
Stop it.
I like Matt Ian. Matt Gottfried.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I mean he can slot in as a forward if need be, and then obviously defense. That's a very good one. Yeah, I think that's going to be a tough one to really hone in on the nominees, and then really build that case. I think overall, just as a kind of on a soapbox here, like with awards in general, I think we can definitely do a better job of trying to provide a lot more metrics, or not just by the points. And I know it's tough to kind of get the eye test when we all have lives outside of Bash, but that's what's great about these recordings that, McCann and Neil do on a weekly basis, where I think if we can get more footage out there, and some highlights, really kind of put a light on some of these players.
For sure. David, do you have anyone else that you want to shout out, call out? I know we don't like Feather, but
I never said I didn't like the guy.
He's left out right now. He's not even a seventh man. Come on now.
This is so funny. Anyone else, Dave? You wanna?
I can't think of names right now.
So now I was talking before about draft order and who is like outperforming. So we're talking about like Eshwar being drafted 65th, and now he's like 18th in the league in goals. Another few people like that. You got like Zach Herman is right there. He was 62nd drafted. He was he's ranked 20th in goals with 6 goals. He's 37th in point per game. He has 1 point per game. You got Nick McNabb. He was drafted 30th.
That's another good one.
Yeah, but he's 12th in the league with goals. He's got 8 goals. He's 2.14 points per game.
He's had a very strong season.
Yeah. He's pretty good. He's been doing well. Jeremy Apsey.
Right.
He was drafted 59th for the Loons. Yellow.
Yeah, 5-point game this past week. 5-point game.
Yeah. He also got high stick in the eye, so good for him.
19th in goals in the league with 6 goals and 1.3 points per game. And shout out to a couple of guys who were actually drafted in the last round of the draft. You have, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this name wrong, Garagam Bala. He was drafted 122nd, but he's got a goal, and he is at 0.29 points per game. And then Chris Hamill on white, he was drafted right after him at 123, and he's at 0.27 points per game. So even, showing some production with assists and coming out, even though the low draft order.
Do we consider Fabish 7th man, or is he above that now?
I think he's above
yeah.
The thing is, he's on blue, so they're kind of stacked.
What does that mean? Oh.
Well,
and that's part of it though, right? Like when you're like Fabish on probably any other team is going to be a first line person, but because
Right.
he's on the same team with Quick, Sorcerer, and Hart, um, like when I was on Blue last year, that was crazy seeing him being the second center on a team. He'd literally
Yeah.
be the first center on any other team. Also, another shout out, another rookie. And in terms of draft order, is Jordan Stinson on White.
Yeah.
He's on my team. I think he was a little underrated in the draft, but he was drafted technically 25th. And right now he's at 22nd in scoring with 6 goals. He's a 1.15 points per game, which puts him ranked 26 on point per game production. So his draft position was dead on. So like kudos to White captains for recognizing him and his potential because because that was a spot on pick.
Yeah.
No, totally. I think that's you hit on it. It's sometimes it's tough to gauge the talent of some of the rookies if if they come to a pickup and it's their first time kind of getting used to the lick, the court we play on, and you just got to kind of, like you said, you got to kind of trust your gut, or if you're a captain who's played for so long and kind of have an eye for a talent, you get these guys or gals that really pay dividends.
Yeah, for sure. Any other awards we want to go through? He got through 6, man.
Last year, you never talked about the Wookiee Award, but too
You
late
want
for
to talk about
that.
the Wookiee Award? All right, who's your guys'
Tough one.
Wookiee Award winner? Casilli, go.
Um, I don't know how much we can kind of disclose and all that type of stuff, but I would say Will McInnes for a lot of his hard work behind the scenes,
I know what
trying
you're talking
to,
about, and I know you can't say it, but
yeah, just
that's
we're looking into expanding, trying to get maybe some new development with a rink or whatnot and stuff like that. But he's just been really a workhorse behind the scenes, whether it comes to fruition or not. It's something that I think we've all talked about, and I think in life, a lot of people you can kind of just talk the talk but not walk the walk. And Will is someone who's been doing that for us, and we'll see what happens in the future, but he would be my pick. I mean, there are definitely a handful of other guys in different capacities that are really like helping push the league, good exposure as well as being very welcoming and inclusive to the league. But yeah, Will takes the cake for me.
Terry?
I don't have much to add to that. That
Sounds goody.
Terry hit the
almost
like button.
forgot.
He hit the like button on my comment. Yeah.
He had
Yes.
the David, go ahead.
Uh-oh. Dark horse. Who is it?
Dark horse.
You can't say yourself also.
Yeah, you can't say yourself, unfortunately.
As the reigning
As the
Wookiee
reigning.
Award.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you can't win it back to back. That's defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
Jeremy?
No. He got last year also. I like how McCann is,
Garrett?
No. I like how McCann is putting footage and putting it up and giving us, someone's, I think we had, we got GoPros back in the past, right? But
Did.
Right.
to include, video footage of our games is something that gets our league, well recognized as far as showing replays and all that. That's great. And,
Yeah.
uh,
He's helped out behind the scenes as well with our summer league with Dolores in making sure we get, court time. So that's a very good call. Yeah.
yeah, McCann.
It's
Nice.
funny, the more in depth you get into the league, you start to see behind the scenes of all the like people who are just like quietly doing things, and you're like, oh, okay, who runs this? Who runs that? And
To your point, I'll give another little mini shout out to Kevin Ellsworth, because he's someone who behind the scenes, even when he left the league, he was still like updating our all-time stats and stuff like that, and keeping tabs on the league as well. And then he came back, So yeah, that just further underscores your point of a lot of people. You get what you put in, type of thing. And someone like, for me, when I found this league, it was awesome. It was something, I definitely like needed and wanted, and it was that community sense, right? So I felt it was like incumbent on me to, when it was coming time for trying to get new people to be commissioners, I was like, you know what, I've done enough. I've been a dick enough sometimes. I need to kind of shoulder the load here and kind of bear some of the responsibility to push the league forward. So yeah, no, you're right, Terry. And that's not a plug for me, by the way. Not at all.
Everything is I did.
Not at all.
All right. Anything else you guys want to add?
How
sorry.
about
Sorry to
Ward-
interrupt you guys.
what's
Sorry to
up?
interrupt you guys, but the Southern Man Award, I was thinking about Michael Malou. He does it all. I mean, he's giving his all as did we say rookie of the year? Because he's showing he's a rookie, right?
Yes, Maloof is a rookie.
Yeah, I'd like to give him a shout for that one, and also maybe seventh man.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. He's another one of those unsung kind of players that kind of you don't see on the stat sheet, but like plays good, solid minutes, dependable, reliable player. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So sorry, to rewind a little bit, but I had to think about that for a minute.
Maloof. Yeah. Do you do that when he's out on the court? Do you have a chant like Maloof? No.
Mhm.
All right,
But
David.
not-
David, it's a podcast. You
You need to be lively.
You got to play off me.
No,
uh,
that's
No.
anything else you wanted to
That's-
add something,
We
Terry?
will not play improv.
that's when we're playing together. Sorry.
Everyone knows the importance of improv is saying no. End of discussion.
Yeah,
That is correct. That is the most important part of improv. Anything
I was
else you
going to
wanna-
say, if anyone had an idea of what awards you think there should be but aren't.
Oh, that's a really good one. Well, I know, someone, well, actually, I think the cat's out of the bag. I actually do it. The Licky Awards will make a comeback probably for the second year. I always like doing that type of stuff where it's just fun, random stuff. Man.
You got to explain what that is for.
So Licky Awards just kind of are just, not unofficial, just kind of, a little tongue-in-cheek awards. I think, kind of very heavily influenced by kind of if you were ever back in the day playing GoldenEye on Nintendo 64, you get certain awards like most honorable, most dishonorable, most kills, all this like funny kind of like just bounce off the wall stuff. I'll try to bring this up really quick just as some examples, but I don't know. In the meantime, like what are you thinking, David, as far as any fun or awards that aren't there that should be a part of it?
Best photographer of the league.
Oh, okay. I like that one.
I'll be honest. I learned from Neil. He taught me how to get certain moments with his camera, and then I banked off of that and used my phone. This how many year and a half now, and not saying I want to put myself out there, but I did pretty good in the last few seasons, and I'm enjoying taking pictures for the league for everybody. So I'll give myself best photographer of the year.
Oh, there we go. He broke the rule.
Sorry.
He awarded himself. No, that's a good one.
But wait, you got.
You know what? I think, can I amend that to be best content creator?
Okay.
There you go.
Because then we can include the video aspect of it as well. But yeah, just to kind of go back to with my kind of awards, they kind of range from the Lickies, kind of like bash superlatives, something like a best jersey or one that's like kind of silly, most likely to buy the group a pitcher of beer at the bar. Since a lot of the time after the games we go to the Valley Tavern to kind of just kind of chill out. You know what? This one actually I would like to add in, even though it's kind of counterproductive to what our league is most entertaining chirper. I would like to have that one in there.
That has to be Eddie Parsons, right? Like
he takes the cake usually. Yeah.
Oh,
I'd pick Tony.
Tony has good chirps.
Tony
just
Fowler,
has
yeah.
funny chirps. I'm not gonna lie, they make me laugh.
Garrett Lord's up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lord for sure.
No, he gets antagonizer of the year. You heard me, Garrett.
I think hey, I think for this one, I think Casilli has Crash Out of the Year award.
Oh yeah.
Sam
Absolutely.
Knapp has really good chirps also. They made a goalie in
Uh,
NBHL attack him once, but he has really good chirps.
Really?
Best
Chirps?
Best
I thought-
Crash Out is a very good one. Yeah. I could fucking dominate that one.
Oh yeah, Casilli, you'd be way up there. So would Charlie. Charlie's gotten better this year. Anyone on green? I'm joking.
That was actually one of the Licky Awards. Was most likely to Hulk smash the goalpost was Chris Casilli. So yeah.
Kenny's
Uh,
on top of there too, as far as hulking it to the too. When he gets
Yeah.
mad, he gets mad.
Yeah.
He lost
Yeah.
his voice in one game actually. After he,
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Kenny.
Oh yeah,
Jones.
Kenny's
Oh,
up
Kenny.
there.
Yeah.
Sometimes last time he played, he talked so loud he gave out his voice. Like his voice was gone after one game. Yeah.
Listen, guys, from
Yeah.
experience, I can tell you the quickest way to not crash out is just to win in goals. It's been working for me all year.
Nice. Look at that. Yeah, that shit-eating grin.
Hey, what about best captain of the year?
Best captain?
Best captain of the year. Okay.
I
Good one
mean,
too.
I like
I
Tug.
think that goes to the captain who wins the finals.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, Tug's doing pretty good as captain, I would say. He's drafted a good, team this year.
Oh, he drafted the team, huh?
Yeah. It
Besides,
was all
Ted.
Tug. Casilli didn't do anything.
I don't know. What'd you do, Chris? Did you pick me?
my.
Did you pick me?
Yeah, David, if I had my way, I would have picked you in the first round, bud.
Well, thank you. I'd have picked you too.
Thank you.
hmm But
See, this is the improv, David, that I
Yeah,
was talking about.
you got to say yes and. That's the rule.
See, we're
of
working.
improv.
We're working. We're cooking. We're cooking with gas, David.
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
Don't
Cooking
cook with gas.
Okay, propane.
Cooking with. Oh, okay.
okay, thank you.
All right. Any final thoughts you guys want to add? Any other awards you want to talk about? We got through everything on my list. Terry, I'm looking at you because I see you eyeing all the awards.
No, I think that's about it. I mean,
You have to give me who do you think is going to win the championship? Can't be
Yeah.
your own team, and the biggest hot take for this season of Bash.
Yeah. I mean, well, hopefully you can kind of just use. I don't want to rehash the hot take thing because that was just right off the dome and great. But I'll just close out with the Yetis. I think, if Terry's playing well, the Yetis are playing well. They're on an upward trajectory right now, and man, I don't know. When they're cooking, and you add Jeff Wong into the mix, who hasn't been there that much. It's a tough team to play against. So I would pick the Yetis to win it all, as much as it pains me to admit.
Damn. All right. Terry, go ahead. Speaking of Yetis.
let's see. We're hoping we didn't get hot too early, right? There's still a bunch of games to play. You want to get hot towards the end of the season. We're kind of a little bit towards the end of the middle. I am looking at black, I think. They have the goaltending and locked up. Pretty much any game you play against them, you have to hope that you're not yourself going to let up a lot of goals because it's just a grind. From experience, they're really good at causing a lot of chaos in front, shooting from a lot of unique places. And I know they've had our they're the one team we haven't beat yet.
Wow.
So yeah. So I would kind of give them right, and they just beat. Who did they beat this week? I think they beat Green.
They beat Green.
Yeah, that was an insane game.
And I guess that's my hot take. I think I kind of think if it's the finals, it's going to be white and black.
Wow. I will say with the Land Sharks, as they're the team different, as opposed to the other ones that I feel like they need to play from ahead. more than any other team. If they get behind, like you said, they have the goaltending. You know, the question is always year in, year out, do they have enough scoring to kind of match that? So if they can find that with some consistency in the playoffs, if they are in fact in it,
Yeah.
then you're right. That's a dangerous combination and team to go against.
And that's what to bring the point to what Julia said before about it kind of being unfair that they have, pretty much the two best goalies in the league with Peterson and Crawford. It's kind of like that with the protections, though, right? Where you get like a team like Black, who has two goalies that are fantastic. They got Pardini, who is a great defenseman, but that is kind of their soft spot in offensive firepower. And then like you kind of look through all the protections through the league, and like the way things work, at least this year, where you get 4 protections. It usually leaves a spot open at one of the 3 main areas, either goaltending or defense or offense. You can just see it down the list. And so you can see kind of like in the teams that do well, like White this year, like lucked out that I wasn't as bad as everyone thought I was. And
to be fair, Terry, I never thought that. I literally told you that.
It helps to be a more rounded team. And where you can kind of make that up. And then it's just all the luck of the draft of where you can pick that up. Black could have just as easily through, the picks get some of those rookies that are great that found their way mostly to like yellow and purple. So, it all depends.
David, go ahead.
Take us home, big man.
Hold on.
Nice. What are you doing? You taking a picture of this?
No.
Okay, well, while we
Snapchat memories.
I mean,
my cat Macho.
Oh my god, he's so cute.
What's your big boy?
He's like, what are you doing to me?
I don't want Seals to win this thing because they're just winning almost every game, and I want Yetis to win this because I see them being top of green. I mean, I would like, hate to say the final 2. I'd like to see Yetis versus Blue in the final.
Solid.
I mean, I would like that to happen. And I'm just saying, I like Yetis and Seals. I mean, Yetis and Green Crats to make the final 2. What was the other question? Sorry.
What's your hottest take?
What does that mean?
What's going to cause the most controversy?
Yeah, what's going to cause people to get angry?
David is going to start the finals in net for the Rats because I have befallen some tragedy.
That would be a good call. But I don't know. I haven't thought about that.
No worries. All good. And with that, the Bash podcast has finally returned from the dead. I have a few more episodes planned. It was dead for a bit there because I was busy. But
what's your hot take?
What's my hot take?
Yeah.
I think. Oh
And
God, I didn't.
win?
See, you're the one person who can say who you think is going to win because, no offense, your team isn't in playoff contention.
I was gonna say Yetis are gonna win it, but everyone else has said that, so it's no longer really a hot take.
Now you guys are all jinxing us.
Yeah, no, it's not really a hot take anymore.
Yeah,
But,
that's what I would like to see from last season, what our predictions were, because I think a lot of us agree.
I think it was all wrong.
Yeah.
Let's put Julian Rick Cole in it.
No, let's not do that. I'm already losing fantasy right now, I think. So my hot take for this season is that Charlie Jones somehow doesn't win MVP.
Ooh.
I think something weird, and that's nothing against Charlie. Charlie bailed on this podcast. But
do you think we're all over Charlie? We're just over his
no,
accumulation of point total?
No,
Give McCann
Charlie's
MVP. That's my hot take.
Charlie's
Hey, just heads up, Charlie has never scored a bash goal against me yet. So
Dude, why would you say that? You're just,
yeah. Why would you?
Jinx
That's
yourself.
like the
Who said
ultimate
that?
fucking jinx. No, my only reason
Motivation.
why is I think someone is gonna sneak up and steal that award from Charlie this year. I don't
Give
know
us a
who.
hotter take. Who's it going to be?
McCann.
Zach Sorsher.
McCann.
Zach Sorsher or McCann or Jeff Wong. I just think one of those guys where, like, the Seals have lost when Charlie has been there, right? But Yetis haven't lost when Jeff Wong has been there.
We lost in overtime against Black.
Okay, that doesn't really
But
count.
we still got a point.
Your point, you know what I mean? Like, has Blue lost with Zach Sorsher in the lineup?
I'd have to check.
Okay.
I don't think so.
But, like, that's my point, right? It's
David
like,
almost injured him, though, earlier in the year. Chest bump.
to be fair, Zach
Shut up.
Sorsher has showed up for, I think, two,
Can
like,
you
out of
clip
those
that video
five.
in right here?
Huh?
Editor note. Clip in
Yeah.
that video of David Ruiz chest bumping Zach Sorsher.
Because also a few things. I think one of the two games Zach Sorsher showed up with was against Red when we had like literally 7 guys. And I think he put up 9 points that game. So,
But he did it in such a gentlemanly way.
sure. But Ryan Maples also tripped me that game. So,
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. You should have gotten a penalty shot.
yeah, I should have. And that's why I also don't think Charlie's going to win MVP because he didn't give me a fucking penalty shot.
So a few things. Speaking of attendance, I just want to throw it out there that Yetis have the best attendance at this point of the year.
Yeah.
12 average players per game. The worst is the Seals with 9.23.
How?
Yeah. Because mostly 9 people show up every game for the Seals, and that's like it.
That's
Got
how
it.
they well, yeah, there's some draft strategy surrounding all that type of stuff.
The Yetis are at 12 for the league best. Sharks are close behind at 11.77. But yeah,
Okay,
the Seals
we were
and the
last.
Loons are at Seals are at 9.23, Loons are at 9.46. The Yetis and the Sharks both have had games where 16 players, not including goalies, dressed for a game. And then the worst showing is the Loons. They had a game where they
5.
had only 5 runners in addition to their goalie. So they had no subs for an entire game. They lost 13-1.
That sounds utterly painful. I'm not going to lie.
And that was against the Seals right before Christmas break.
Yeah, those games are tough. They really skew the stats when it's those kind of blowout games.
Yeah.
But what can you do? Yeah.
The
You
biggest
gotta
Also,
play
blowout
we
with
should
game
have
of the
just
year,
not
though-
had a game that week on December 20th. That was utterly just nonsense. Sorry, Kamish, but like,
Well, look, there are so many weeks that we're going a little off tangent, but like, it's tough. There are some weeks, like for instance, this week where there's a bye for Valentine's week because that's been historically
half this league
one
is
that's been
single. No,
requested.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
It's also this week is also President's Week, so it's a 3-day
Yeah.
weekend, and usually those are buys because people want to go skiing. But I think this year, like the playoffs go to like April 18th or April 20th, so it goes late because of just the amount of games that play in. It all adds to it.
Yeah, for sure. And with that, before this derails anymore,
You're aware.
I'm gonna end this. We'll be
And
back.
what?
Now you're playing. Now you're playing the game, David.
Now you're
And what?
playing. All right. We'll be back for NBHL preview, playoff preview. I was gonna do a trade deadline recap show, but that's no longer necessary
Trade
because
You know what? No, just enter
the
it on
captains
here.
failed me.
Enter it right here, and it's just a big beep.
Huh?
Just,
Oh no, that's
just
what I'm gonna. Yeah.
cut into that, and it's just a black screen for 2 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna put a picture of all the captains and be thumbs down. No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. But
No,
yeah,
it's
we'll
not.
be back for those. We'll be back for summer content, and I know a few people have reached out about interested in joining the pod. Bear with me, my schedule doesn't allow that. So,
All good. Thank you again, Jules, for
Jules.
running that. This is always fun to talk shop.
nice boys.
My kneecap's falling asleep. Thanks.
I look forward to boring everyone with tales of NBA salary cap and spreadsheets
Oh, I can't wait
God
to get
damn it.
that.
for a month of just
Yeah.
staring. I can tell you everyone's salary cap. In the
We'll
league.
need a second screen experience for that.
Yeah, we
too.
can. We'll do it on a different platform where we can go beyond 45 minutes.
Don't forget the Bash Discord server.
There you go. Back
Yeah,
this
top
board.
of mind, David. Top of mind.
Top of mind. All right, guys. See you next
Point
time.
on the board.